Biden thing I got to talk about. Hold up. So, as many people know, our president-elect, Mr. Joseph Biden, is getting ready to, leave office. So he had to give like his last, I don't know what is this, his last speech, his farewell speech. There you go. His farewell speech had to happen. And I saw 20 seconds of it. And people were like, Joe Biden's warning about the takeover of Trump and the oligarchy and all that. And I'm a big believer in context and understanding the full scope. Just like with the Jasmine Crockett thing. Okay? So yeah, Jasmine Crockett said what she said with the child and all of that. But at the end of the day, the debate about the dudes in the bathroom is more important. And that needs to be done with. They need to make that decision and be over with. Anyway. So Joe Biden comes over with his little speech here. And I'm going to let y'all go through it with me because I just don't feel like I deserve to go through this by myself. I believe that whatever pain and agony that I have to get, possibly, from listening to this, that it shouldn't just be self. It needs to be broadcasted to others so that we can balance the load. Pause. Okay? And Joe looks real serious in this shot. I don't know what he's about to say, and I'll just say it this way. Any opinions that Joe Biden gives are not necessarily the opinions of Purge of the BS or its affiliates, sponsors, and members, okay? Let me give them the announcement.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another Purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the Purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the Purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
All right, guys. Are we ready to go bye-bye to Biden? Ready? Okay. Let's do it. Hold on a second, man. Get the likes up, bro. Y'all in here with me? Are y'all with me? Did I put you to sleep? I'm sorry. I was just talking about Jazzy Jazz and Nancy Mace. Mace in your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. But thank you to all the new subscribers jumping in here. I appreciate y'all, man. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready to hear about this Biden or Biden saying bye. We're going to just go through it one time. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because this is my last clip of the day because I got some shit to do, okay? And I feel like it might be funny playing them fast, so we're going to see how that turns out. Not too fast.
To you tonight from the Oval Office.
Oh, okay.
Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today.
Okay, what happened?
8 months of nonstop negotiation. My administration, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans.
Hold on. I got to pause it for a second because, yes, they did make a ceasefire agreement, and like 4 hours later, some stuff started getting blown up. So I don't know if that's holding well right now. I haven't been back on the socials yet, but that didn't start out well, at least not yesterday. But anyway, let's go.
This will be my final address to you from the American people from the Oval
Yay!
Office, from this desk as president. And I've been thinking a lot about who we are and maybe more importantly, who we should be.
Really?
Long ago in New York Harbor, an ironworker installed beam after beam, day after day. He was joined by steelworkers, stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built not by one person, but by many people, from every background and from around the world. Like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage. She's on the march, and she literally moves. She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather, to stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches. But
Oh, he's talking about America. I thought he was trying to talk about Kamala Harris. I'm
The
sorry.
Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol.
Statue of Liberty. Okay,
A
gotcha.
soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart. And yet, through good times and tough times, we've withstood it all. A nation of pioneers and explorers, of dreamers and doers,
Okay.
of ancestors native to this land.
Oh, you going to talk about them?
Force.
Really?
A nation of immigrants came to build a better life. A nation holding the torch of the most powerful idea ever in the history of the world. That all of us.
Did he mention the slaves that they
all
dragged
of us
over
deserve
with
to be
him?
treated with dignity, justice, and fairness.
I don't think he mentioned the slaves. Did he mention the slaves? He said the natives. He said the immigrants, you know, that came over here looking for a better life. That wasn't slaves. They weren't coming over here looking for a better life when they got here. That was a whole different situation. They were not expanding their lifestyles, okay? So, I don't know. Maybe he didn't say it. Maybe he didn't say it. I'm not going to run it back because I ain't got time for Joe right now. Not that kind of time. Somebody rewind it and tell me later.
And be defined and be imposed, moved in every way possible. Our rights, our freedoms, our dreams. But we know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it are constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power and the exercise of power. But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example. Whether we show the courage to stand up to the abuse of power or we yield to it. After 50 years at the center of all of this, I know
who was that?
the idea of America is respecting the institutions that govern a free society. The presidency, the Congress, the courts, a free and independent press. Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they echo the words of the Declaration of Independence.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm good on him not having to give speeches no more. I'm good on that.
We, the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances. It may not be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years, longer than any other nation in history that's ever tried such a bold experiment. In the past 4 years, our democracy has held strong. And every day I've kept my commitment to be president for all Americans.
Really?
One of the toughest periods in our nation's history.
Did you?
I've had a great partner in Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh, you did?
It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers.
His dentures are giving him trouble right now, by the way.
Heroism of
He's
service
like,
members and first responders, keeping us safe. The determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms, instead of losing their jobs to an economic crisis that we inherited. Millions of Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses.
You talking about COVID?
Hiring American workers, using American products. Together, we've launched a new era of American possibilities.
Did we?
One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history.
Huh?
From new roads, bridges, clean water.
You don't say.
High-speed internet.
Really?
Every American.
All of that.
We invented the semiconductor, smaller than the tip of my little finger. And
Really?
now it's bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs. Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for millions of seniors. And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun safety law in 30 years and bringing violent crime to a 50-year low, meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to toxic materials, and to their families, providing medical care and education benefits and more for their families. You know, it will
Okay.
take time.
Hold
to
on a
full
second.
impact
Hold on a
of all we've done
second.
together.
Hold on a second. For those of y'all that are Biden fans, he just kind of ran down. I think he was running down all the stuff that got completed during his presidency. Now, I heard a few things, but he put me to sleep for a hot second there, so I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm all good on him not having to give any more speeches. It's not talking about who I'm supporting and who I'm not supporting and who I want to do this or that. I'm just saying I'm good on Biden not having to give no more speeches. Okay? I'm good on Biden. Okay? I think he did his time. He can go retire, go sit back with the grandbabies, drink some coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, go do that, Joe. Just go sit down, and that's fine. And I'm okay with that. I think that's a good look for him, is to just go retire, let it be whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. He's talking about, and I'm sorry, April May in the chat said that he's talking about people that lost their jobs, but the federal government was one of the main ones that fired people for not getting the shot. Even though most of them they sent home anyway. So who cared if they got the shot? You see what I'm saying? They sent most of them home. Anyway, let me let them keep going. I got only a couple minutes left here.
But the seeds are planted.
Oh, the
They'll
seeds
grow
are
and they'll
planted.
bloom for decades to come.
Okay.
At home, we created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other
Did you?
administration.
I don't think so.
More people have health care than ever
I
before.
thought that was a lie.
And
I thought
overseas,
that
we
was
strengthened
debunked
it.
or something.
Ukraine is still free. And we pulled ahead of our competition with China. And so much more.
Did you?
I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished together for the American people. And I wish the incoming administration success because I want America to succeed.
No, you don't.
That's why
I'm
it's
sorry.
my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power, to ensure we lead by the power of our example. I have no doubt that America is in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great
Now
concern.
here it is. This is where it gets hot. Hold on.
This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. The dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence. It really threatens our entire
Joe,
democracy.
you're scaring the people.
Right,
Joe, don't do
freedom,
that.
And a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America. And we've seen it before. More than a century ago, the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. Just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to.
All right, hold on. I just got to pause it here because Joe Biden ain't broke. Joe Biden has businesses. Joe Biden has money, resources. Joe Biden's not broke. So when he's talking about wealth and power, you talk about yourself, Joe. You part of that. I don't get to just call up Chinese businesses and start doing businesses and stuff. Like, we don't get to do that as regular folks. So, Joe, you're part of the problem. And if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So you're going to go out the door saying, I'm warning you about these dudes that's coming in here. Well, what about you? You threw all them numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? They threw all them numbers out there, but I specifically remember watching the CNN report where they were saying the jobs report numbers were super inflated and that didn't even happen like that. And I'm inclined to believe that because it ain't been easy out here for the last number of years. And most people can at least agree to that. They may not agree on who became the next president, but we can at least agree on the fact that it ain't been real good for everybody out here these last couple years. Shit ridiculous. And then they hooked into that red note thing. That's what it was, the red note thing. And Chinese people getting produce for pennies. While we spending $4 for a bushel of, not a bushel, but a little bunch of bananas. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally are living all right over there from what I've seen. And I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying, can we get some of that? Not from them, but from our own government. Can we be all right over here? We got all this money to send to Ukraine. We got all this money to send to Russia, whoever else. You just name the country that we send money to and fill in the blanks there. All I'm saying is, can we get some of that at home? Can we keep that same energy right here? That's all I'm saying. So we're going to let Joe Biden finish his little situation here. But I'm just saying, when he starts talking about an oligarchy of power, that's already what was there. Most of the politicians own oil businesses and some more stuff. Most of them are making more money outside of being politicians than they are at actually being politicians. So you're not going to tell me about somebody else because you part of that too. It's just Trump ain't listening to y'all, and that's why you want to warn everybody about it because he's not part of the age-old in club. He bought his way in, just like Elon Musk. He didn't get it from a bunch of generations of politics and all that kind of stuff. He just bought his way in by donating to all Democrats for most years. And then when y'all didn't want him to run for president, didn't think he was serious, the Republicans were like, we'll take you, bro. And they took him over on that side, threw some money behind him with his own money, and he done made it twice. So, Joe, don't do that. Don't be trying to warn me of something else when it's been y'all the whole time. And now all of a sudden, you want to come out here. I'm warning you about these people coming in. But what about you? What about the people that just came out? You're not going. Nothing was wrong. Y'all didn't do nothing wrong, huh? Okay.
Workers want rights to earn their fair share.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, they were dealt into the deal and helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class,
ready,
prosperous
man.
century.
Ready to
any
be
nation
done
the
with
world
this
has ever
thing,
seen.
bro.
We've
You
got to do it
tripping?
again. The last 4 years, that's exactly what we've done. People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share in taxes.
Pay. Pay what? We got money. What are we talking about? We got money. We got billions of dollars. What are they always worrying about? Somebody got to pay something for. We got money. We got all these people here working. Taxes come out every paycheck. We got money. Why are they always talking about the billionaires got to pay more? To who? How does that make, if billionaires pay higher taxes, right, then they're already paying. And the federal government is the one getting that money because it's tax money. It's not community money. It's not like they pay more and then the government's giving us a cut. We don't get none of that. So it doesn't mean nothing to me because they're paying 20% or whatever they're paying and they just have more resources. So if you're over $400,000 a year, whatever it is, you paying taxes. It just don't hurt as much as the person who's making $45,000. That's all it is. It's not that they don't pay nothing. I mean, think about it. When you buy something, you pay a tax on that. You purchase a car, there's a tax on that. You purchase foods, tax on that. So you're paying taxes all over the damn place. And if you got money, you're paying taxes out to these different things, right? That means you keeping money in circulation. You got money going and you're paying taxes at the same time. So I don't want to keep hearing about the billionaire. Then just change the tax code. Trump said that years ago. If you don't want them doing the loopholes or whatever, then change the tax code. But you can't do it because the people that donate to you are the millionaires. And they're not going to donate to you if you start messing with their money. So stop with the bullshit. He's blowing smoke. He is blowing smoke. Don't tell me about these guys now like you wasn't just in there and it wasn't already going on for all them years. I hate when they do that. Now all of a sudden it's this. Okay.
Right now,
you lying, Joe.
Has never been clear. Just look across the
country. No, it hasn't been clear. He's right.
Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world. And the rest of the world is trying to model it now. It's working. Creating
really?
Jobs and industries of the future. Now we've proven we don't have to choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy. We're doing both. But powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward.
Hold on a second. Did he say bullied? We must not be bullied into bullied. Who's bullying folks? Y'all be bullying folks when you take our money and send millions of dollars somewhere and we can't even get a business loan as a small business. That's bullying. You force us to pay these taxes. If you don't pay the taxes, you owe them anywhere and you can get put in jail, right? That's bullying. I'm not saying that Trump and them can't be bullies, but the government is a bully. It's the whole thing. That's government overreach. That's why they talk about it. I hate when people externalize the stuff like that. Like you're in government. You're the leader of it, but you're telling me about the government and like they're bad. But dude, you're there. You've been there since the 90s or the 80s or whatever. So whatever's been created, you were part of that. So you should take that accountability instead of worrying everybody about Trump, man. Trump is just Trump. He been Trump since he was. Actually, I think he's a little calmer this time around than he was the first time around. Maybe he understands the game a little better now since he already did it before. But he's not as mean as he was the first time. He was very abrasive the first time around. But that's because he didn't know any other way to be, because that's who he was up until that point. Now he's been in politics for a little bit, so they were like, okay, he can calm it down just a little bit. But come on, Joe. Don't tell us all this stuff about the oligarchy. And yes, we don't like that Elon Musk is all in everything, but he can't vote for shit anyway. So as long as the information is correct, even though Elon might be overstepping his bounds, if he's telling correct information and he's putting out actual information that is fact-checkable correct, I can't be but so mad. Yeah, it's annoying as shit because it's all over the place and it's constant. But if it's true, then, maybe that's a good thing and not a bad thing. I'm just saying, maybe having people in those positions who can actually put out information is not a bad thing. That's what he's saying, is it's bad to have that kind of transparency. It's bad to have Elon Musk connected anywhere to the government. But he's still not in the government. He's the same person he was. He's just vocal. He was already getting subsidies. He was already working with the government to shoot off rockets. So Elon's position has not changed. He just gave y'all a little goofy ass logo with a dog on it. And now y'all think it's something different. Ain't nothing different. He just talking shit. That's what he does. And he can't go into the chambers of anything and bang a gavel on anything. He makes no votes. He has no voting power. He is nothing but a guy that has some money and likes certain things to go a certain way. But if he starts lying on the internet, like with the H-1B thing, people came back at him for that. So we'll keep it transparent. I ain't mad at Elon. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. I just don't like when these politicians be like, yeah, and then the guys in the White House. Dude, you're sitting in the White House. So what guys are you talking about? Anyway.
And push faster. There's no time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives. We see the same dangers of the concentration of technology, power, and
Yeah,
wealth.
okay.
You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote.
What is misplaced
6 days
power?
later,
First
6
of all,
days later,
power is to
I
the
think we can-
people. Hold on a second. Pause, Joe. Pause. What the hell is misplaced power in government? The government is supposed to be by and for the people. So if the people have the power, like voting, then that's not misplaced. That's exactly where it should be. Now, what he's talking about is reach. That's what he's talking about. The average citizen, up until current day, did not have reach. Meaning, I can jump on this broadcast, I can hit Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I can hit like Instagram, TikTok. You see what I'm saying? I can hit all of them at the same time, and there's different people on the different forums at the same time, and you can really reach a lot of people. Well, Elon Musk is able to do that. And so you can't just pull the wool over people's eyes and they find out after the fact what y'all done already voted on. So that's what he don't like. It's not power misplaced. The power to speak is not misplaced. The ability to quickly disseminate information out into the public is where he has a problem. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm seeing through you, Joe. I know you're saying farewell, but you're telling us to look out for what? To look out for people telling us stuff that y'all been hiding? Hey, I'll call bullshit if it's bullshit. But if it's not bullshit, then I'm more upset with the fact that you hiding it, not the fact that the person told me about what you hide. And you want me to be mad at the person that's telling me what you hide. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Potential rise. A tech industrial complex.
Potential rise. Here we
Pose real
go.
dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking.
Hold up, man.
Truth is smothered by lies, told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable.
So what are you talking about? Hold the social platforms accountable, man. Joe is making me mad. I didn't know I was gonna get this angry. Y'all paid them to not let people say certain shit. What do you mean you gotta hold them accountable? We need to hold y'all accountable, man. Like, what are we talking about here? You worrying about social platforms. You worrying about TikTok because TikTok was making all that money and sending it back to China. That's why y'all was worried about TikTok. Mark Zuckerberg and them all said the same thing. Yes, federal government, Joe Biden's people was yelling at us and cussing us out because people didn't want to get the vaccine and they were getting side effects. And they told us that we couldn't publish anything where people were talking about the side effects of the vaccine. He admitted to that. He wrote a whole letter about it. So we know what happened. So you're not going to tell me it's the platform problem. The problem is the politicians utilizing that power and influence to censor good information. Fact checking, and the problem with fact checking was the facts were based on somebody else's narrative. And so they could fact check something and act like it was fact, and it wasn't. It was actually fiction. So that's why Zuckerberg said, let's get rid of that, because that was the government doing that. That was Wikipedia and shit. Community notes is we all seen what happened. We all were standing there when it happened. And we're going to all add context and all agree that this is what happened. That's what community notes is. It's a bunch of people who've seen a particular topic or seen the information on the topic, and they're saying this did or did not happen, and that's pretty much the end of it. So I would like the fact checking to be there, but not if it's going to be bullshit. You see what I'm saying? I don't mind the fact checking, but don't have the fact check be false. That's a waste of the fact check in the first place. So he's talking about holding social media platforms accountable. So we're going to see what else he got to say. We only got a couple more minutes of him. And then I got to get out of here because, like I said, I got shit to do. But I wanted to bring this to y'all so you understand that Mr. Joe Biden is still trying to get people to incite some type of an uprising against the incoming administration. And I just think we should can we stop with that for a second and try to figure out how we're going to best survive with the incoming administration. You can't keep fighting it. The vote came in. The election is over. There's probably a tab under this video right now saying that Donald Trump won the election. And this ain't even about that. You see what I'm saying? But it's all over. We know that it's over. No recount, no rematch. It's over with. So let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? Let's move forward. So I'm going to let Joe Biden move forward. And April, May, thank you again for jumping in the chat over there. You are 100% correct that the fact check needs to have sources that are different than the government sources. And that's what Community Notes is. So it sounds like you're just leaving it up to folks, but a bunch of people aren't going to spit false information because we like to prove people wrong. It's like a natural thing. We love to find out, oh, you lying, and call you out on it. So that's why if it's fact checkers, we can't call them out on it because we don't know who's fact checking. It's AI. We're just pulling Wikipedia, Google searches. I don't know where it's coming from. But Community Notes literally will show you other posts about the same topic. It'll show you who's talking about it, where the original videos came from. It is a little more investigative. I'll be honest with you. I like it. So let me let Biden finish up. Talk his little shit.
To protect our children, our families,
children.
and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time. Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy and our security, our society, for humanity.
You're gonna leave
Artificial
out.
intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it. But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy.
AI been around. What are you talking about?
In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern. And as the land of liberty, America, not China, must lead the world in the development of AI. You know, in the years ahead, it'll help to be.
Pause.
The president.
All right, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I was watching The Matrix the other day, right? I'm a big fan of The Matrix. At least the first, 2 or 3 of them. I think the last one, it got a little weird at the end. But initially, and here's the thing. In The Matrix, the original Matrix, they mentioned that AI was like the reason why the world ended. That was 1999, okay? 1999 was when the first Matrix came out. It is 2025. Terminator Judgment Day did not happen. And you're not going to keep scaring people with AI. AI is AI. That's what it does. It comes up with concepts and then we take it and we talk to it. But it's not freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. At least not yet. And if you want that to not happen, don't be telling us as the regular people about it. Talk to the companies that make stuff. Make sure that they're not making evil eye robots. But other than that, what are you going to say? Don't use ChatGPT to help you find out information to come up with a good script. Of course they're going to use ChatGPT. It does make things easier. Now don't get carried away with it. Some of the AI videos that I be seeing, I ain't going to lie, they do get a little carried away with it. They definitely get a little carried away with it. But as April May said in the chat, and I've said 1,000 times before because I'm into IT myself, is AI is trained by humans. I did a whole episode on the Kenyan people that felt like they were being treated like slaves. And what was their job? AI trainers. But they're Kenyans. And they're training the AI that we see. And that's why this stuff sounds foreign sometimes when it comes up with a concept. It sounds like a foreign person trying to translate a concept, right? And that's what it is. It's just a mimicking. Here's the thing. I can't type as quick as a computer can come up with print, right? Even though my brain can come up with the idea probably faster or just as fast. The physical output that it would take to create after I have the idea is what the AI speeds up because it's already digitized. It's doing everything with math. Whereas I got to figure out how do I take this idea in the mental realm and make it physically available in front of me. How do I bring this to fruition, as they would say, right? AI doesn't have that same limitation. It's already digitized, so it keeps everything in one realm, which makes it easy. It's word, okay, we're going to make words. We're going to make a digital picture, okay, we're making a picture. But it's also goofy at the same time. Like, I like Grok. I use Grok sometimes to do thumbnails. If you see some of the outputs that Grok comes up with, you'll be like, where did that thing get 4 arms from? And why did you put 4 arms on it? Like, it comes up with some goofy stuff sometimes, but that's AI. It's trained by people, and not everybody that's trained in AI is a genius. Let's just say that. Some of them ain't that smart. They be training the AI to do and say some dumb stuff.
See, the Congress, the courts, the free press.
All right,
and
here we
American
go.
people.
Let's let them finish out.
Forces. We must reform the tax code, not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making them begin to pay their fair share. We need to get dark money. That's that hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions. We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme Court. We need to ban members of Congress from trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office.
Oh, boy.
The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute, and it shouldn't be. And in a democracy, there's another danger to the concentration of power and wealth. It erodes a sense of unity and common purpose. It causes distrust and division. Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning. And people don't feel like they have a fair shot. We have to stay engaged in the process. I know it's frustrating. A fair shot is what makes America America. Everyone's entitled to a fair shot.
What is he talking about?
Just a fair shot, an even playing field, going as far as your hard work and talent can take you. We can never lose that essential truth, remain who we are. I've always believed, and I've told other world leaders, America can be defined by one word: possibilities. Only in America do we believe anything is possible.
True.
Like a kid with a stutter.
Well, no, you know what? I don't know about that. I ain't been nowhere else.
Sitting behind this desk.
It's a bold claim, is all I'm saying.
That's the magic of America. It's all around us. Upstairs in the residence of the White House, I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty I don't know how many times. In the painting, there are several workers climbing on the outstretched arm of the statue that holds the torch. It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, a son of an immigrant, whose job was to climb that torch.
Hold up, did I watch the same video twice?
So rays of light could reach out as far as possible.
We watched the same video
He was known
twice?
as the keeper of the flame.
I'm sorry, I didn't know
The
that.
Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope, that anyone who seeks and speaks freedom can understand. Yes, we sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm, to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
A constant struggle.
Huh.
Constant struggle.
Weird.
A short distance between peril and possibility. But what I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people. To the members of my administration.
Oh, he's giving shout
As well as
outs.
public service and first responders across the
All
country.
right, I can stop right there because now he's going to give a bunch of shout outs. Yeah, I want to give it up for people in India and Iowa and all my peoples down on the block, man, and 5th and 17th, man. You don't even know how we get down, Big Joe in the building, baby. Like, I don't need to hear the shouts, Joe. But here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna bring it back, okay? I'm gonna bring it back. I'm not going to bring back the video because I just realized that we saw the same video. It feels like twice. I could have sworn he said the story about the Statue of Liberty like before, right? I don't know, man. Joe Biden confuses me at times. He seems like he's a little confused as well. But the main thing is, how did I play the video twice? I didn't play the video twice. You know who played the video twice? ABC News did. They had me thinking that Joe was able to handle 15 to 20 minutes of talking nonstop without looking like he was going to pass out. They lied to me. I really thought he did that much time. And then I realized, no, I remember the story about the swaying, the hell is it? The Statue of Liberty. And so here we are. Okay. Because that's Joe's final thing. The next time you see something politically from Joe Biden, it'll probably be his funeral. I don't know. But at this point, he has basically told us, watch out for AI, watch out for Trump, watch out for Musk, watch out for everybody but him and those that have been in power doing all this goofy shit for all this time. I get it now. I get why people would want to jump behind somebody that says, you know, we're going to break this whole thing down and start it over again. Because it's obvious, guys. You see what I'm saying? It's obvious what's going on. And it's obvious that Joe Biden been doing it. Just like April said in the chat, these guys only get like $200,000 as a salary, but they're millionaires. So where's all that extra money coming from? And nobody ever questions that. So you're not going to tell me millionaires need to pay more because, Joe, you need to pay more. Your family needs to pay more. That's who you're talking about. You're not talking about me. And the number of millionaires and billionaires in the country is not very many. Most people are just regular folks in that, 400,000 or below bracket. That's most people. I'd say, just giving a guess, probably 85% of America makes, especially individuals, $400,000 or less in a year. That's at least 80%, right? So who is he talking about got to pay more? Him. His folks. Hillary Clinton and them. All of them. So, you know what, Joe? You can miss me with that, bro. You can miss me with all of that. Look out for these people. Look out for them people. No. Look out for you and what's already been going on. And let's hope that that doesn't continue. And let's also not let Elon Musk and them get out of line. Elon is not exempt from the smoke. Trump is not exempt from the smoke. Everybody can get the smoke. Everybody.